What's that?
There's the Mike Grady's. There's the top of tier.
Amen, brother. I love the roller coaster. I don't know why, but I do. What are some unique value add things that you can bring to the table as a capital partner for investors, whether they're fix and flips guys or whether they're landlords for the long haul?
I think where I make most of my opportunity is actually just in solving problems. So someone who's brand new that's watching this, the challenge you're going to run into is an experience challenge. Every single person that's going to say that you're going to try and borrow money from is going to say, have you ever done this before? And if the answer is no, they're going to kind of just drop the hammer on you. I look at it differently. My programs are inclusive of someone who has zero experience. We just lower leverage a little bit, or depending on the nature of the deal, maybe I'll partner with you to get your things off the ground because I know what it was like. I remember when I was breaking into this business and no one wanted to help me either. I remember, and I wish that someone would just give me a little bit of a lifeline, like have a little faith, man. So the way I look at it is if the real estate is sound and the numbers work out, I might be willing to partner with you directly just because I know what it was like. And if I have to help you with your first 2 or 3 deals until you can stand on your own 2 feet, then fantastic. You're going to learn my thought process, my underwriting philosophy, how I look at deals. That'll make the entire industry better because to the point that Mike was making, your lack of experience is not your fault, but who's going to teach you? We're in a market where most of the people are like, oh, if you're not qualified, you're not qualified, move on. I think that's inappropriate because then you have a whole bunch of people trying to stab each other in the back. My thought process here is if it's all of us against the market, then if we're all on the same side, we can kind of make it work. You have to be willing to put people first before profits. I've lost money where I did the right thing. I told people not to do deals that I knew were going to hurt them. And in some cases, they listened to me. In some cases, they found somebody else. And then miraculously, they didn't listen and they did the deal that I asked them not to do. They were out of the business immediately afterwards. You got to look at this long-term, not short-term. Yes, there's short-term money that you can be made here. Absolutely. But the long-term goal, to Michael's point, is financial independence. You always have to see that window and not let go of that vision because it's very easy to turn and burn a property, make 100 grand and then hurt yourself. You could win and lose at the same time in this particular business if you don't do it the right way. It's very interesting to watch.
To your point, the book I would say that changed my life significantly was Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
That guy's my uncle. Did you see?
I didn't think of that, but okay. But the basis of that book is the rich teach their kids how to make money work for them. And the middle class and poor don't know what to teach their kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the rich don't teach anybody else.
They sure don't.
So somebody like you is unique in that you've learned the language of the rich and you're willing to teach others.
Yeah. And it's because someone did that for me. You're talking to a guy that's not formally educated. I graduated. I barely graduated out of high school, and I think I'm 15 credits away from my associate's degree. I left college and I hit Wall Street right away. And I learned everything kind of on the streets, the organic way, I guess. But to that point, there were very few people that were willing to help me. There was a lot of people that were high powered and doing very, very well, and they always looked down their nose at me. So what I did was I ended up finding a couple that were actually successful. Because here's the tip, guys: if they're not humble and willing to help, they're not actually making it. One of the things I realized is that all the people that are flashy and the custom suits and the nice cars and all that stuff, if they're not willing to take a conversation with you, they're just a broke person at a different level.
I will
actually wealthy.
Let me just tell you that because I'm 57 years old, in my life experience, the wealthiest people I know look like they don't have 2 pennies to rub together.
Correct. And they're the nicest people on planet Earth.
And they're always willing to help you out. I mean, I'm talking about people that, own 15, 16, 17 hotels, show up for a meeting in shorts, sneakers, and a t-shirt.
Yeah. Flip-flops. Wondering, like, are you sure this guy's rich? Like, why'd you bring this guy here?
Exactly. Yeah. And you got to get over that. Rich people don't have to show. Rich people with FU money, let's put it that way, don't have to show people that they have money.
Absolutely. They just have it. And that's what I mean. Some of the guys that I hold as mentors in my life, they're 7-figure earners and they don't have to answer their phone at all. I spent a weekend with one of my seniors. His name is Vinny. He's just a guy that I look up to. He's been married for 40 years and he's been a multimillionaire basically his entire life. And I remember sitting with him for the weekend and I was like, how many phone calls are you getting? And he goes, 0. I was like, why? He goes, because once your assets are established, the money keeps coming in whether you like it or not. You don't get the rush of the phone calls anymore. And he has established leadership that kind of helps him handle everything. I was blown away by that thought process because I grew up in the era that you said where it's either you do it or it doesn't get done. But that's not the way it's supposed to be. That's how you stay busy. That's not how you stay wealthy.